Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on our trip to Mackinac Island. This video is actually a part 2 video following our trip to Petoskey, Michigan and then to St. Ignace and Tahquamenon Falls in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We camped at the Strait State Park in St. Ignace. After taking our day trips to Tahquamenon Falls and Whitefish Point in the Upper Peninsula, it was time for Harry and I to head over to Mackinac Island. We had 2 days left in our vacation, so the first day we went to the island by ourselves so that we could do some activities that would not include the dogs. Are you excited?
Yes, I am.
Me too. Let's go. It's always exciting to disembark off of the ferry, go through the ferry terminal, and step out onto Main Street on Mackinac Island. We always take our own bikes to the island, and normally after getting off the ferry, we immediately get on our bikes and ride out to the lawn area in front of Mission Point Resort so that we can relax in the Adirondack chairs and look out over Lake Huron. But this time, we first stopped off at St. Anne's Church to go inside and look around. I have been to Mackinac Island 18 times so far, and amazingly, I have never gone inside this church. The church dates back to the late 1600s when the first Jesuit mission was established on Mackinac Island. Visitors to Mackinac Island are welcome to enter into the church and take in its beauty and rich history. want to take a moment to thank you for watching our channel. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Subscribing to our channel is free and it really helps us out. And now, back to the video.
Sheets of cotton gracefully hung out to dry. Blue sky, a blanket of blue sky out my paint chip window. Lilacs and daffodils smell so good that I could cry. And all the cherry blossoms bloom for miles and miles. It's springtime, springtime, springtime in Michigan.
After Harry and I spent time at St. Anne's Church, we got back on our bikes. We intended to head straight to the lawn of Mission Point Resort to sit in the Adirondack chairs and look out over Lake Huron. But it was lunchtime, so we headed over to one of our favorite restaurants on the island, Bistro on the Greens. It's located by the miniature golf course that is on the way to Mission Point Resort. And by the way, Bistro on the Greens is a pet-friendly restaurant with seating for you and your pets on the lower section of their outside deck seating area. If you are looking for pet-friendly dining options, go to the visitor center and pick up a brochure of restaurants on the island. The ones that are pet-friendly are indicated with a paw print next to the name of the restaurant. While dining at Bistro on the Greens, you can enjoy views of Lake Huron, view the occasional cruise ship and lake barges that pass through, and watch families playing on the greens of Mackinac, an 18-hole miniature golf course right alongside Lake Huron. After lunch, we got back on our bikes and decided to ride the perimeter road around the island instead of sitting in the Adirondack chairs. The perimeter road is actually Highway M185, also known as Lakeshore Boulevard. The road is 8.2 miles in length. It is the only highway in the nation where vehicles are prohibited, except for emergency vehicles. Instead, you'll be greeted by bicyclists, walkers, and the occasional horse and buggy. And don't worry if you didn't bring your own bike, there are plenty of bike rental shops in the downtown area of the island. In late fall of 2019, high water levels and rough wave action caused sections of the island's perimeter road to crumble from mile marker 1.5 to marker 4.5. This affected parts of the road on the east side of the island from Arch Rock to the northwestern tip of the island near British Landing. MDOT did emergency repair work in 2020 to restore the damaged parts of the road to a gravel surface. And then, in 2021, the damaged sections of road was closed for the summer to be repaved. Along with restoring the road, they also reinforced the shoreline with a more robust armor stone barrier. There was also some road repair work and shoreline reinforcement on the road near Devil's Kitchen, which is on the southwestern side of the island. The beefier stone barrier definitely changes the view of the shoreline, and because I ride a recumbent bicycle that is low to the ground, I mostly saw just the stone wall and not much of the water when riding along that section of road. Even so, we are grateful for the work that was done to try to protect the island from further erosion along the shoreline and to restore the scenic perimeter road. On this day, there were strong gusts of wind and a lot of wave action going on. The next section of video shows just how strong and forceful the waves were during our visit. I'm imagining that they were much stronger in 2019 when so much damage was done to the shoreline. guide took us to what is called British Landing, which is at the halfway point around the Perimeter Road. This location marks the place where, during the onset of the War of 1812, British soldiers, voyagers, and Indian allies from St. Joseph Island landed on Mackinac Island and demanded the surrender of the island and Fort Mackinac. At the location of British Landing, you will find Cannonball Oasis, a small eatery featuring burgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, fried pickles, and even soft-serve ice cream. After we enjoyed our ice cream from Cannonball Oasis, we got back on our bikes to continue our ride around the island. Our ride ended when we reached the downtown area. We then did some shopping, bought some delicious fudge, and ate some supper at a restaurant. After a wonderful day on the island, it was time to head back to the camper. The next day, we returned to the island with our dogs. It was Bailey's first time to take a boat ride and his first time to the island. He really enjoyed the boat ride, but didn't like being cooped up in the wagon that I was pulling behind my bicycle. He barked a lot. Savannah, on the other hand, loves to ride in the wagon behind the bicycle. We rode our bikes around the perimeter of the island again, making several stops along the way to let the dogs out to play. For lunch, we went back to Bistro on the Greens so that the dogs could be with us while we were eating. was a wonderful 2 days on the island. We took the dogs back to the Adirondack chairs at Mission Point Resort and took pictures of them sitting in the chairs, a tradition that we have done with all of our dogs. Sadly, it was time to leave our island paradise and head back home. Farewell, Turtle. We love you.
Cotton, sheets of cotton, gracefully hung out to dry. Blue sky, a blanket of blue sky out my paint chip window. Lilacs and daffodils smell so good that I could cry. And all the cherry blossoms bloom for miles and miles. It's springtime, spring.